you more
All right, so now as
understandable.
we're canonically
Yeah, in
talking
Tin
no
2,
longer
they
about
are.
banging Final Fantasy X, hello everyone. My name is Obsidia. I'm everybody's favorite Death Knight. What is that floating behind my head? It is a bone halo, made of the spines of my enemy and those I've hugged a little too tightly. I am the DM of this campaign, Eberron, Ashes of the Last War. We're going to go around the table doing our standard introductions before doing a brief session recap and jumping right back into some angelic carnage. So first off, we have Paige the Mage.
That's me. Hello, everyone. My name is Yulia. I go by Royal Knight VT on both Twitch and Twitter. I play a cat girl wizard on Ashes, and it's a lot of fun. I do a lot of different games on my channel. It's a lot of JRPGs, but we have a good time. So come by and see me if you would like. Thanks.
Yes, please stop by Yulia if you're looking for a good time. I got her Twitch I got her Twitch code off of a bathroom stall and I've never looked back. um
That was me. I put it everywhere.
Guerrilla advertising.
Gas station, Yulia.
Next up, we have Illya.
Hello. My name is Lily. I will be playing Illya. You may know me from getting absolutely denied by Yulia as their child's wife, or my child's wife. Whatever. Not upset about that at all. You're fine. But I do. I like RPGs, music, that kind of stuff. I am working hard on getting Mistwalkers up and running, and that I'm very excited as we are getting some good plans going for that, and hopefully we can get started on that in the near future. So stay tuned for any updates on that. I will be posting on my Twitter some updates about it in the near future. So if you would like to follow me, it's Twitch and Twitter, Lily Faywood. Yay.
Thank you, Lily. We're all excited to see the return of Mistwalkers. Next up, we have Euphoria.
Hello, everyone. Sorry, my cat just walked by my mic, so I hope no one heard his butt rubbing against the mic. But I am Maris, and I'm kind of sick today, so I will be kind of quiet. So I apologize in advance. But I play the Bond girl herself, Euphoria Cox, and it's always a joy to be everyone's favorite hot pink horny mom.
Yes, a great transition from hot pink horny virgin to hot pink horny mom. Thank you, Maris. Next up, we got your pal Malral.
Hey, I'm Litro the Bronze. I'll be playing Malral today. I like D&D and other things, so if you like that, feel free to stop by my channel or just follow me on Twitter. Usually I'm on other people's channels doing D&D and things like that, so if you like that, feel free to just follow me there, and I'll usually retweet and whenever stuff like that goes out. Other than that, yeah, I don't really have much else to announce.
Okay, thank you, Litro. Yes, we are all very aware of the effects that cat butts have on most conversations. Speaking of cat butt, we've got your favorite mess, Sess.
Hi, it's me, Gothses, actually roleplayed by me, totally normal armored nightman, Sif. You know me, I do the art, I play the game, I'm working on hot girl art right now to tweet, and I want to stream more, but Ramadan's kicking my fucking ass. Please, don't show me food. Looking at Yulia.
Yulia.
I'm kidding.
Classic Westerner, just torturing the poor Muslim boy with food pics during Ramadan fest.
I'm kidding, by the way. Please show me food. It gives me some hope.
Don't give me hope. Thank you, Sev. All right, everybody. Previously on Eberron Ashes of the Last War, our plucky group of adventurers found themselves doing some bonding back at the mansion with Malral, Euphoria, and Cess, trying to work through some trauma, trying to get a little closer, and Cess really just kind of upset with her relative feeling of ineptitude compared to the extravagant magical powers of her sister. But, that's just the way the cookie crumbles. And so after that, they were given a frantic proposition by none other than Asharin, saying that they had been working on gathering intelligence for an upcoming operation to strike a final decapitating blow against the Seekers of the Flame, specifically working in tandem with the Templar errant commander back in Thrain. The two of them have coordinated simultaneous strikes against all of the known Seeker cells they were able to learn thanks to the party's efforts in Quest 5, fighting against the cell in Emberfall. And that the most likely location for the Seeker herself was in a volcano nearby Greywall, no less, and she had been living there right under the party's noses. And so Asharin convinced the party to go with them in this desperate hour of need, promising them a fair chunk of change in exchange for more than a little vengeance and possibly some closure. As they journeyed up to the mountains that night after gathering their equipment, they confronted the Seeker on her throne, and she proceeded to engage in somewhat lively and jovial conversation with Illya, who absolutely despises her, and informed Illya that she had come into the possession of Ilya's brother Esteval. And Illya thought this was, of course, straight malarkey, and she then at that point learned that the Seeker does not lie, or at least does not lie about some things, as she drained her followers for energy and then brought into, from a nearby area, 2 of her own guardian angels, the patchwork stitched together celestial abominations that the party had confronted previously, and one of them bore a striking resemblance to Esteval, complete with his own fey tattoos that Illya knew for a fact he was in that body somewhere. And with that, a massive battle began. Thankfully, Euphoria promptly focused all of her abilities to destroying Esteval. And he, using his last efforts to try and restrain the celestial fury driving him to follow the Seeker, managed to miss all of his attacks in a totally intentional effort. And Euphoria then proceeded to dismantle him piece by piece until he detonated and had his energy absorbed by the Seeker. After putting enough attacks on her, the Seeker transformed into what is apparently her true form, a 15-foot tall, towering, rotting angel of corroded silver and dripping corruption, with massive barbed chains latching her arms against her body and flailing around to tear apart, inject, and corrupt anyone who faced her. And with this, she began her dance of death across the battlefield. And as 2 members of the team were laid low, Cess and Malral, she and her aura of false divinity managed to creep into the minds of Illya and Asharin, and making them view her as the golden angel that she purported herself to be, much to both of their chagrin, and especially Asharin's, as the Seeker forced Asharin to revert to their true form. And the party got to see what the Seeker had been doing to Asharin through much of their childhood and life. And with this, the Seeker was able to continue the combat until finally a long sworn pact between Paint and the angel Hestelia of the Silver Flame came to fruition, as he had promised the party to still look over them and asked his patron to protect them in their time of need. And so she appeared right as the very volcano was going to crack and erupt darkness around them, erecting a silvered flame dome to protect them from the energies, and also invigorating them with the celestial light of the hearth inside of their bones, giving them some additional powers. And with that, we will be resuming our combat, and me switching over screens. Ta-da! Okay, so let me switch to the battle map. And I gotta turn on our Bloodborne music in a second. Okay, so we can zoom in more. There we go. Since our little lovable group of adventurers are all now basically in one place. And let's get those sweet tunes playing. Who's ready for Latin chanting?
Ooh.
Alrighty.
Welcome back.
So with that, we will start the top of the round with Euphoria.
Oh boy. I guess I just keep doing what I'm doing because it's been working well so far.
So
I
I
am
started stabbing.
Yeah, really, I'm just gonna start poking her. With my rapier, I'm just gonna go for it.
All right.
That's a 10. I don't think that's gonna hit.
That does not hit.
Okay. I'm going to extra attack. Ooh, that's a 15.
That also does not hit.
Oh no! Alright, one more. I'm gonna bonus action to attack.
Ooh.
Come on! 19.
That does hit, but this is your non-magical rapier.
Correct.
So this will be doing reduced damage.
Do you
Yup.
still have your action surge?
I
I think
You
she
too.
used that earlier on.
uh
I don't
I think
remember
that was her echo thing.
I know
that
she
you
did
were,
the
like,
echo
previously.
I did the echo thing.
I don't think you've
I don't
action
think I
surged
have
yet.
action surged.
Okay.
I mean, if there ever was a time to action surge, I feel like
Alright.
this is the time. So that's 6 piercing damage
So
from
that's
the
3.
Yeah, 3. I will action surge. I'm gonna try to hit her 2 more times.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh
14.
my gosh.
24.
There you go, that one
There we
hits.
go. 8 piercing damage.
Okay.
That one is magical.
Yeah, so you're having a much harder time cornering her right now as her chains are flailing about, knocking your rapier aside, trying to wrap around them and disarm her. Disarm you, but yeah, eventually you are able to land a fairly glancing blow against her. Then you get a nice solid stab, and more of that black diseased corruption splashes all over you as you pierce her side.
Gross. I've been on this cliffside for a hot minute, and it's making me a little nervous. I'm just gonna scooch over here.
Okay.
Understandable.
All right. She is going to use her legendary action to spin to win. So if Euphoria, Asharon, and Cess could please make dexterity saving throws.
I think they have to do it for success.
Oh, I didn't realize Cess had activated their BRB.
Yeah.
Okay.
I had to go a little early, looks
Well,
like.
Cess will be dying in the background. It's okay. I say that with love.
Please.
All right, so let's go.
They are hasted, but they said to keep that in mind.
Yeah, they get advantage on this anyway, so that doesn't matter. So I'm gonna roll and just screw over Cess. 'Cause I'm full of hate. That's still a failure.
Oh.
I thought hasted gave a +2 to dex saves. Or am I thinking of something else?
I don't think it gives a +2. I think it gives advantage. I don't want to look it up. So,
Tier wouldn't work.
Fair enough.
so with that, let's. I have to roll an attack just so I can get the damage out of it. Okay, so that's gonna be 12 bludgeoning, which gets halved anyway to Cess, and then it's 21 necrotic. But because of Hestelia's Hearth blessing, you guys do all have resistance to fire and necrotic. Remember that. So that is 11 necrotic base, and Euphoria failed, so yeah, you're going to be taking 12 bludgeoning and 11 necrotic. And then I have to roll for Sharon. Ugh! Sharon not doing so hot. That is... Oof. Oof. Insult to injury on poor Sharon. They finally
going
regain
down?
control and promptly get knocked down.
Oh no.
As the chain wraps around them, piercing their form, and just tosses them aside. And with that, it comes to the Seeker's actual turn. Hey, Euphoria, how you doing, Euphoria?
Euphoria's doing okay. She's alive.
You say that now. Okay, so first up, I'm gonna try. You have your cloak, so disadvantage until I bonk you. Well, I bonked you.
Oh,
So that's 9 bludgeoning and 11 more necrotic. To you, Euphoria. How you doing? How you doing?
How much was that?
9 bludgeoning, 11 necrotic, so 20 total.
Ooh, I'm existing.
Does a 19 hit you?
Yes, ma'am.
I think you just dropped.
I'm down. I'm down for the count.
Okay. As you drop, you will get, I'll flail you over towards Malral.
Ow.
As the chain wraps around you and tosses you aside. Malral, you get the beauty of seeing Euphoria's beautiful form leaking black fluids as she is tossed nearby you. And you see black cracks are materializing in the silver flaming dome around your battlefield right now as Hestelia is straining to contain the energies outside of it. Asharin, let's roll your death save.
Cess comes back. Oh, what's going on over here?
Holding the
I think
pizza
they
box.
I think they may have gone down from that last attack.
Okay, Asharin failed. Malral, what do you want to do with your life?
I want to move over here, and I'm going to heal all the people who just went down, so they're back up.
Okay. You're going to do mass healing word or prayer healing or something?
Yeah, I'm going to do mass healing word.
Okay.
So you can see Malral as he comes over, he starts to bang on his shield once more. Sparks start to fly around until embers start to float in the air and slowly fall down on the 3 unconscious people around him. As I quickly pull up the spell so I can roll it. Boop. As they all heal 6 HP.
Okay. That's,
That was my bonus action. And
All you
as
need is
my-
one, baby.
Yep.
Yep.
That's on, let's see.
Isn't it Lily
It's
who
up to
always
6
says-
creatures. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So that can be on all of us.
Okay, so everybody heals 6 hit points if you've taken damage. Yeah, was it a Lily who says 1 HP is equal to max HP?
1 HP is at least equal to 20. I
Let's hope,
stand
'cause
by
that was
that.
my last 3rd level spell.
Alright, so yep.
And then I'm going to follow that up with a Sacred Flame on this bad bitch.
Okay. She has advantage to this because of magic resist. The joy of being an angel. Lol. 17. So that's pass.
Yeah, that's a pass.
Okay. Oh man, if only Sif was here. If only Sif was here, he could be
Hey.
like, oh, Sif's back!
They said
Sif's
they
back.
are.
What?
Oh
What a
shit!
timing.
Sif, it is your turn.
Okay.
You are.
Sniff, you have 6 HP.
You have 6
I'm
HP.
still in. Okay. I'm
You
still
went down and I
rain
brought you
soaked
back up.
clothes. All right. Just... Sorry, I'm looking rain so close. I saw my turn coming up, so I haven't bothered changing.
Pop off, King.
It's okay.
All right.
Let's see.
I think my game plan is relatively the same, regardless. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go get him.
Okay then. Reckless attack for all these attacks. Here comes the first mania hit.
Okay.
Oh, that should be with advantage. Excuse me. I'll just roll one more time and then do that.
King, if you want to rage too, you have to use a bonus action to rage again. Easy one unconscious.
Didn't I rage at the? Didn't I
You-
raid? Yeah,
you
I raged-
just
You got
went
knocked
unconscious.
unconscious again.
Oh.
Yeah. To the spinny
Yeah,
spin.
I
Yeah.
literally just brought you back up.
Yeah, she did a
Okay.
spin to win on you.
I'm gonna be real. I'm gonna go down again, anyways. The rage bonus damage is nice, but I think rolling
for it.
crits here is what matters more. All right. Does a 19 hit?
Yeah.
Okay. Here's 15 slashing damage.
The 18 also hit. Oh, it's
Well,
reckless.
no,
You were rolling with advantage. Gotcha.
Yeah. I have advantage on now. Yeah.
Okay.
Second attack with mania. That's a 23.
That hits.
11 more damage. Hasted action attack with Mania 21.
You love to see it.
Tower damage, bonus action, spikes. Where are they? There we go. This is 25. That's 10 more piercing damage.
Oh, okay. So
Jesus Christ!
that is 26,
Go!
38, 48 damage.
Yeah! That's
I
my
am
sister!
covered in rain and volcanic ash at the same time.
dripping all of the diseased ichor from all the wounds she's inflicted on you. Now, what would you say, Sif? If I uttered the words, "It's time to limit break," how do you want to do this?
Okay, all right. Is Asharon still in their true self?
Yes, they're still in their true self. They're on the ground behind you because they got taken out.
Okay.
Unconscious.
As the black ichor starts to like coalesce and drip off, says the parts where it drips off is where the goo starts to reapparate until she's back in her black suit self. And then with each attack as it comes out, she is aiming directly where like the same brandings are on Asharon, but on this angel, marking this angel and ripping her, tearing her to shreds.
Okay. Yeah, so as you just rip and tear into her, you just, pulling out just massive chunks of corrupted flesh, and you see just more of the blackness just splashing all around her as you're tearing her apart. And her colossal form is no longer floating over the volcanic earth anymore, as she is on the ground, dripping from every possible part of her, as her eyes are oozing that black blood, and through gritted teeth, she screams and goes, "No, this is not how this goes! I am eternal! You cannot kill a god!" As you see parts of her start falling off, and you see the ground twisting and blackening as they're each in turn absorbed by the earth itself. And with that, she reaches out one more time to wrap a chain around you, Cess, and pull you in close. But it all just starts to crumble and burn as it touches against you.
But I add one more thing.
Absolutely.
As the chain tries to wrap around Sez's neck, she leans in full feral form with the goo, and a big, disgusting maw forms, and she fucking full grip, like, bites her on the hair and rips her head off.
Alrighty.
Swings into the lava.
Alrighty. So yeah, the serrated goo mouth comes out and just rips off her head, and you see those glaring, burnished silver eyes have a moment of surprise as her head is ripped off of her body, and the rest of it just collapses onto the ground and is pulled into wherever world that she will go, as in turn the head itself dissolves into its own liquid and drops onto the ground. And
I was just gonna stay in feral black suit for a little bit as I go to change clothes.
1 sec, I gotta do something very important right now. Ka-cha! Gotta put that X on there.
Ooh.
And you did it. With that, you see that with the Seeker finally gone, Castelia is able to have her light and flame cast aside the darkness, and it simply flows into the earth itself around the dome. And you notice that it is causing ruptures and fissures in the volcano itself. But in this moment, you stand alone and victorious. Congratulations.
I think Illya, who is basically just back against a wall right next to Paige, is going to just, as their concentration starts to like relax is just kind of going to fall back where it's against the wall and then just kind of like slump to the ground and just kind of sit there and just stare at the form of the defeated seeker.
She,
Just be unable to move for a bit.
um, as Asharin recovers from falling unconscious, you see them staring at the spot where the Seeker used to be, and they are seemingly trying to revert back to their generic Skyrim character, creator human form, but they can't. It keeps stalling halfway through, and so it's this chameleonic mix between their true form and a kind of kaleidoscope of human skin tones and forms, as they're just like curled up in a ball crying as the blood drips out of their own eyes from the wounds they inflicted on themselves under the corruption of the Seeker.
Paige is gonna be right beside Illya, comforting her, just like she did the other night with her.
Um,
Kind of rubbing her back a little bit.
Euphoria, Malral, and Cess, what y'all doing?
The goose starts sliding and slopping off of Cess as she like fails to catch herself for a second. She starts coughing and hacking up the volcanic ash and dirt she's had to like deal with, spitting out whatever black ichor managed to make into her actual mouth. And then is Asharon still down?
Sharon is in the fetal position, but they're conscious. They're just crying.
I am going to move subtly close to them, but not initiate contact, just be near. That is it.
Uh-huh. Okay. And you see the volumetric, silver geometric shapes of Hestelia and her 6 vectored wings and many eyes like floating in midair. And you see just her reaching towards the spot the Seeker was in, and just you see small flames appearing that she is guiding out of the ground and saying something in Celestial. Is one by one, each of the flames flies away and disappears into wherever world it is journeying next. For those of you who don't remember, it is very similar to when she sent Cliff Spirit to final rest. So Malral and Euphoria. Sorry, I forgot to do them before that.
Malral will go over to what was once Estival. Look over at Illya. Well, what's left of Estival, I believe he exploded into
Yes,
ashes.
he did detonate.
But we'll start collecting some of those ashes and putting them in a small vial that he has, putting the stopper in it. Put a small bit of thread around it to where it's actually, you can like almost wear it like a necklace, and just holds it by the thread as he carries it over to Illya. I do not know the personal connection you once had to this person, but they seemed important to you. Best not let the ash remain here to be forgotten.
She's going to stare. She's like basically been staring directly at, like, still at this where the seeker is the whole time, and just break for a second. Put her hand on the put her hand on Paige's shoulder and kind of just let it rest there. Just look up at Malral, offering this to say quietly to herself, Let us let us hope that this is the last time that someone in my family has to suffer this fate. Hmm. Still two of us left. Still two.
If you wish to keep them close, I could turn this ash into glass, something you can wear.
I'd like to keep it for now. I I don't know what they would have wanted, but I think Acorn deserves as much of a say in preserving preserving the memory as I do. After all, they were in this mess because I asked them to be. Hmm. She'll reach out and just take it and just hold on to it very closely.
Malral, as you take it, kind of like cups your hands a bit, putting them in yours. It just gives you a deep, sorrowful gaze, trying to comfort you in what he can, but knowing that you need to grieve right now.
She definitely looks away from it because this is all too familiar to her. But just kind of I think she would, as she brings it close to her heart, will just start to softly cry.
Euphoria.
Yeah, while this exchange is happening, Euphoria and dust off her jacket and wipe the blood on her mouth on her sleeve and procure a very frilled hanky and wipe the black ichor off of her blade before sheathing it and look over to Illya and Malral and Paige and approach them and just kind of crouch down in close proximity to Illya and not making any attempts to like touch or have like physical contact, but just give her a sincere look and just, I'm so sorry.
She'll look up at you, tears still streaming down her face. Just thank you, Euphoria. Thank you for trusting me to be here for this. I'm I'm happy that I was able to keep my promise. I don't know what I would have done if I was sitting at home and found this out later. Oh, it's...
Well, you did good. And I'm sorry that you lost someone today. And know that I didn't take it lightly.
The cold side of me knows, without a shadow of, that your decision to eliminate the threat as soon as possible was the only way to do it. So do not feel sorrowful or regretful that you decided that that was best. and the cold, calculating minds that I so often rely on, I know that that was best. Can you help me? And they're gonna reach out their hands to beckon to be brought up.
Yeah, I got you. She'll clasp your arm and pull you up to your feet.
Thank you. Paige,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you so much. She's going to slowly, still, if they're offering their shoulders as they were, still just walk slowly over to Asharin. And
Malral will follow.
similar to Sess, will not get close enough to touch, but will just kind of look at them with a sorrowful gaze and just say, "She's gone. Thank you. I'll be here for you when you're ready, darling." Just sit down, just quietly in the moment.
You hear Sharon, as they're sobbing, they just keep saying, I wasn't, I wasn't strong enough. I wasn't strong enough.
Oh, I'm learning that you never truly think that you're strong enough for the hardships. But you push through. The job is done.
The towering, floating form of Hystelia comes gliding over to where all of you are gathered. And when you're just in her presence, you feel the corruption in your body is being ejected out as your wounds begin to mend. And in in her steely arms, with their two fingers and a thumb each, you see she's cradling a single blue flame as she holds it, and all of her blazing silver eyes look at you, Illya, and she says, I was able to sever his spirit from the remnants. It has suffered much, but I will see it guided to where it will need to go next. But I offer you this before he leaves. She kind of holds the flame towards you as it floats between her hands.
Extend their arms and reach out to accept whatever it is that they are offering.
You see that little blue flame floats between her hands, which are easily the size of your torso each, and directly above your own hands. And while it's in such close proximity, you do feel that there is a coolness coming from it, like what you'd expect from an icy drink on a hot day. And you feel the sensation of, before all of this happened, before everything that went down at the Face Fire, you have that feeling of family. And it's just this sense, this vibe that courses through you as you hold it.
I know that it doesn't excuse my behavior. Dear Esteval, thank you. From the bottom of my heart. I know if you can see me. You can see me now. That I've learned. That I've learned what it means to truly value a family again. And I'm so sorry. So sorry for bringing you into this fight with me. I see now. And I hope that you'll find the happiness that you deserve with Mother. I know she'll be waiting for you. I know.
And with that being said, you have a profound feeling of peace as you look into the flame and you see, for just the briefest moment, an image of you and Acorn and Esteval all together laughing and smiling from many, many years ago. And the flame starts floating away. And you hear Hystelia saying a prayer in Celestial for it to be guided to the wilds and for it to return to the cycle that it belongs. And then it disappears. And
She just starts bawling.
we have two crying people right there. And with that, your other three companions arrive on scene, with their own injuries and bruises as they come running over to you guys and will also help heal you up. And Estelia will look down at all of you and say, I'm sorry I could not do more to protect you, but I can at least ensure that you are able to return to your homes once again. I am holding back the collapse of the Seeker's corruption, but it is time for you to leave. The only healing that can be left for you now is that of family and hearth. As the volcano begins, crumbling around the area of Hystelia and you guys, she just goes, I will light your way, but please find something beyond this. And the silver flames rise up and are kind of sitting there holding back the walls and lava that are beginning to flow around you guys.
I think that's a sign to leave. Sharon, you ready to go?
They're just still in their fetal position, and you see them with their fingernails are digging into their hands and more blood is pouring out of the wounds as quickly as they're healed by Hystelia's energies.
They're gonna kick my ass for this. Says this very gently. And
I just said
Yobs?
I just said aha.
Okay. Says it's going to pat Asharin really quickly on the shoulder.
They do not seem to be snapping out of it.
You can hate me for all I care at this point. And it says it's going to just pick up Asharin, cradle carry, and then look at the party to like, which way are we going? Please, we gotta leave.
Do we know of an exit, or do we see
The
one?
flames are lighting the way, yeah?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
flames are lighting the way.
Okay, yep. Then
If anybody needs help carrying people, Kaisha, Larissa, and Sylvana are available to help. But
Illya would walk as normal. They're just emotionally devastated, you know. They can physically act as normal.
okay.
Okay, cool. Just making sure.
Yep.
Yep.
And as you
We're all walking away. Malral's just like, so who's that angel lady? I don't think any of us actually know who that was.
it's been
The cats do, but
she announced who she was, and she said she was Hystelia, the Hearth Mother, and so you guys know of the Hearth Mother, at least the two members of the original party here. But I know Euphoria wouldn't know, and I'm pretty sure the Hearth Mother, Illya was around for that because it was.
Yeah, would I have gotten that same vision? I don't think so. Or like something similar for the arena.
What same vision?
Oh, I was thinking that you were talking about like the arena.
No, that was Sylvana's thing.
Okay.
No, this was Paint had sworn themselves to the Hearth Mother as their patron, so they talked about that.
If the group's still looking for an answer, says we'll just aptly say it's just a friend of a friend. We should probably focus on leaving before any more questions, though, because those flames don't look like they'll last long.
Yeah, let's get moving.
As you leave the crumbling fortress behind you, you see it crack and sink into the lava as the last traces of the Seeker's presence on this mountain are purified in fire. It's ironic in a sense. And you begin the journey home as you see the brilliant light of Hystelia shoot a beam of energy into the sky and disappear. And you do not see her anymore. And with that, you have a safe journey home. As you journey home, people will, be gathering kind of outside their homes and stuff, looking at this, what is a dormant volcano doing something spicy for the first time in a long time. But, they see you guys coming all, bruised and battered and stuff, and people just, give you all of the space in the world to return home. And you guys arrive back at your mansion. And when you return, Sharon will untangle themselves from Cess's arms. And you see the red streaks going down their face as they look up at Cess. And they don't look dead. They just look broken at this point in their eyes. As they just don't even say a word and they just go to their room.
Yeah, they can hate me for that, I guess.
I don't think so.
I don't think it's you. I think it's
I definitely didn't help.
what they went through.
Somebody had to do it. We even know we're just gonna leave. Yeah.
Anyways, I know we have things to take care of, and one of us should probably contact the Church of the Silver Flame with like a letter or something saying about what we just did. But right now, I want to sleep. I want to rest, and I want to not think. So, one of you can figure that out. Says it's just gonna walk off.
Okay. So I think with that, you guys can all go your separate ways to deal with what you just went through, but know that you are in fact victorious. And uh, as the night ends, a new day begins, and I will have you all just kind of rest and recover. Shard will not leave their room anytime soon, so they are effectively MIA right now. And we will pick up in the after effects of this. I believe, Illya, you had something you wished to talk about
Mm-hmm.
with Malral, your pal.
So I do think that this is probably a full day after the Seeker, after the defeat of the Seekers, that they would go to try and find Malral, probably spending most of the first day in the room, just kind of coming to terms with everything that happened. But on the second day, as they leave the room for the first time, they're going to probably about noonish, so late rise. But they're going to, rather than going to get any food, they're just gonna take a deep sigh, just walk over to Malral's forge and just see if he's there.
He is indeed, seemingly pounding away at something new on his shield. He seems very concentrated in his work and probably doesn't even notice you walk in.
Hey, Malral, do you have a minute?
He almost jumps a little bit as you entered so quietly before like turning around, raising up his goggles that he had. Oh, hello, Illya. I did not hear you come in.
Mm, I apologize. I think that's an old habit of mine. I should knock next time. I apologize. Sorry, I said that already.
It's fine. Being quiet's a useful skill to have, after all, especially when you need to be sneaky. Something I can't really do. He knocks on the shield that's in front of him, making a loud clink noise.
Listen, us work. I'm sure you could put your mind to anything, Malral. Listen, I know. I know that I've been, well, for lack of a better word, and pardons the pun. I know you love them. I've been a bit cold to you. For emotions are not something I've had very much success in navigating in the last 25 years.
Worried about being cold. You come closer.
Hmm.
Got a warm heart.
You do have a warm heart. Maybe a little bit too warm, but that's besides the point. So, darling,
Why don't you come in? I could
I.
use some help on this over here, and I could use your hands.
Oh, goodness, I have no aptitude for any sort of blacksmithing myself, I'm afraid.
No, that's all
Raised it.
right. I just need you to hold this.
Very well. I was
Oh,
raised a noble girl, and it's only recently that I got my hands dirty, so I'll do my best.
everyone learns somewhere.
Hmm.
You think I came out the hatch from the egg with the tools in my hand?
You know, considering considering what I know about your people, I wouldn't be surprised.
My people grew up in a jungle. Most of our things were made from bones and rocks and things that we found throughout. It wasn't until we moved to the city that we started learning real steel.
Now, my husband, he was never exactly the most, well, acquainted with the forge, being a white dragonborn and all. But I just Thank you. I appreciate that your willingness to assist and advise. I've learned to not turn away those that want to teach.
Did
Listen,
Malral know that your husband was Dragonborn? I can't remember.
um, I've mentioned it a few times,
Then probably when
so
they started. Okay.
I think you at least heard it when Asharan leaked it, for lack of a better word,
Sorry, I have
as
really
the
bad
Pope.
memory.
No, you're fine. So let's say that you do know.
Must have been from a different clan from me then.
Hmm.
Your husband sounds like a good person, though, especially if they were to get to know you well.
Yes, Dokrin. You grew up in the Northwest, but so judging by what I know about where your family at least lived, I'd assume you're from at least not the Northwest.
Where I called home is now called the Mournlands.
Hmm. I know. I know of the place. Listen, I. The reason I'm here. Twofold, but we'll get to the second part later. I think about Dokrin every single day. About his, well, not necessarily warmth, by Dragonborn and all, but the comforts that I felt in his presence. And I think sometimes that maybe just living the shadow of that comfort is not the best for me. So, given that, well, pardon me once more, but that you lost your wife and seemed to be chipper, for lack of a better word, and ready to mingle.
Malral gives a smile that doesn't really meet his eyes.
I apologize if I spoke out. I just I don't know what to do, and maybe there's no better person than you.
It's different for everyone, I believe. I turn to my work. When I look into my forge, I see in the embers those that I have lost, those that I have lost in the battlefield, friends I've made in the city that are gone, and of course, I see the embers of my wife and child. They guide my hand in a way. I think about what they would want for me. While I do miss them dearly, I know they would not want me to sulk forever. They would want me to live. And I hope at least some of my former comrades in arms would want me to have a happy life, knowing that I survived. So, as you say, I am ready to mingle.
That may have been a crude way of putting it, but
I do
I've,
it because I deserve to be happy. They would want me to be happy. And I am going to live my life how they would want me to live my life. And not sulk in a half death. For my time will eventually come, and I will see them again. But that time is not now.
It is not now.
Nor is it your time.
Think about the last 25 years that I spent chasing the shadow of a, of a memory. And I accepted. I allowed myself accept that I don't think that this is what Dokkan would have wanted for me. The life that I led.
I understand your want for revenge. If I had a target, I likely would have done the same. But through thought, it leads to nowhere but more grief.
Illya holds out the vial of Estival's ashes. It says, living proof. I thank you. I'm starting here. Starting here again. While my afterlife, if it is what I believe it is, never allow me to see Dokrin again. I think that, in a way, wherever it is that he is, wherever it is that the Dragonborn go after they pass, that he'll be able to look down and finally smile when he sees me again.
I see those that I saw in the embers of my forge. Perhaps for you, you will see them in the snow. The beautiful storm that you will make.
My cold heart only radiates that. But I don't see cold-heartedness as a bad thing. It's part of who we are. My family is who Dokrin was.
Snow can be quite beautiful. They say every snowflake is unique, you know.
It is beautiful. Whenever I think about the lovely snowscapes that Queen Mab is able to make in the Feywild, that is another feeling of home.
Malral gives a more genuine smile before doing a mock shiver. Ugh. Don't make me think about too much cold places.
Do not worry yourself, Malral. So you may want to stay away from being too close, as well. They'll put their hand on Malral's shoulder properly. You'll notice that their skin is a bit colder than.
You notice he is warm to the touch.
Oh, well, it may be a bit moot point with you being warm, but part of the deal. We live a cold life, for better or worse. But my coldness is also my warmth, my comfort. Just as your heat is, I'm sure, a loving hug from those tears to you.
Speaking of, he holds out his arms, offering one to you,
Hug?
if you want.
Pleasure. She'll go in for the full hug. Just squeeze you back as strong as she can.
Gives a big old bear hug.
Oh, oh goodness.
He doesn't have any of his armor on, so it's all just big soft belly.
I must say that Dorkin was never the strongest of the strong, but you certainly can hug a lot more strongly than he could. I always liked his bear hugs.
I do what I can. I'm sure I don't measure up. You say you had two things.
Did. From what I heard, message to Jubilee did not go through. Whether that's due to the timey-wimey nonsense of the Feywild or what. I feel it necessary to at least ask to send her a note myself. Now
Of
that
course,
I have something to tell her.
I've been sending her one near every day. Another one won't do much. Can never hurt.
Thank you. Whenever you are ready, thank you.
He pulls out a metal plate and a chisel.
This is not the message yet, but it would make me feel good to know that even if she's hearing them and she doesn't want to respond, that she knows. She knows how much we mean. I'm going to start now.
He nods.
Hi, Juby. It's Illya. The Seekers are gone. I kept my promise. We all miss you. We still love you. Hang in there, tough girl.
As you say each one, and he chisels each word in, embers start to float above the plate, giving almost a floating message. Before when he finally does the last tough girl on the end of the message, the embers seem to coalesce together and then fly off into the distance.
As she sees them flying off into the distance, she's just going to repeat it one more time. Say, hang in there. Just start to cry a little bit.
Malral puts his hand on your shoulder.
Goodness, I've been doing a lot of this lately, haven't I? They do say that winter is the saddest of the Alatran. I think
It's
I'm
not a-
catching up a little bit.
It's not a bad thing to cry.
I know. I think I'm working back on a lot of the cryings that I missed out on doing.
He gives a
I'm
soft smile.
happy that I'm able to be like this again. I know she would be too. To see me.
You were a good soul that has been reforged, but a good one.
Isn't it a blacksmithing thing to say that when you reforge a sword one more time, with each reforge it becomes stronger?
If done right.
That's what Snow always taught me when he made our weaponry. Thank you.
I'm always here if you want to talk.
I appreciate that. I think that is all. Um, please do inform me if she does respond.
Oh, if I hear anything, I'll be screaming out in the living room.
And in a way, I almost wish that I hope that she doesn't respond because I know that her darling mother was attempted to contact, and I would hate to have it be that she chose me over her mother. I don't know if she would like that very much. But anything is a good sign. Still a good sign. Gonna find myself some lunch.
That was a good idea.
Take care, Malral.
You as well.
She'll turn around and walk on out.
All right.
Malral stands there for a moment in the middle of his forge, seemingly thinking about some odd things here and there, as if he's almost inspired for a new creation he can make. Before looking back, it's just like, oh crap! It's like he forgot to temper it in time.
With that, you guys go your separate ways. In the coming days, it's pretty quiet around the house. Despite the victory you've achieved, there really isn't much celebrating going on. But there does come a point, I believe, when some gals we're gonna get together. Isn't that right, Illya, Paige, and Euphoria?
Yeah.
Indeed.
All right, cracks knuckles. Let's go. It's my time again.
Girl time, huh?
I said some gals, not girl time. There are a lot of girls in this party that are being excluded.
We'll have our own girls like blackjack.
Oh.
I'm
That's
so
just called
sorry.
Larissa. You're just inviting Larissa.
Lily's here too.
Oh man. Lily
Um,
works for free. Shakes hips.
Oh, that reminds me, I need Lily to deliver a letter for me. Well, at least get it into the system.
But yeah, so ladies, which one of you wishes to initiate this?
I'll start it up again. This was my idea, so I got it. But I like to think that Paige and Ilya are just sitting in the lounge room, just reading books, and Ilya is reading a book on music, and it's just taking a second, just reading through it, feeling a nice warmth, reminding her of what we're about to get into, which is she's going to close it and just look over at Paige, say, Paige, have you ever gone to a ball?
Hmm? Oh, she kind of peers up a little from her book and kind of tilts her head a bit. Well, not exactly. I know the university's done some dances and whatnot, but I'm always too busy to go, so I never really took the time to do it. Why do you ask?
Yes. I just had the loveliest idea of sort of reliving an old flame, an old hobby of mine, and no better way than under the lovely sparkle of the lights of a ball.
Sounds pretty magical. Is there anything I can do to assist, perhaps?
I take it based off of what you said that you don't exactly have a ball gown or anything of the sort. No worries on that if you don't.
Uh, no, not really. Aside from, I typically just wear this school uniform, and I have a few clothes though, but not anything fancy like that.
I've got a good idea. So you don't have to do anything. Do not worry. But
Mhm.
come to my room at 9 o'clock. Okay?
Tonight?
Yes, tonight.
Oh, okay. Yeah, of course.
I'll have a surprise for you there.
Are you sure I don't need to do anything for it?
No, 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 darling. Do not worry. I'll set it all up for you.
Okay, then I'll be there.
Perfect. Now I need to go make arrangements. This childlike happiness that kind of irradiates from her as she kind of dances off. She dances off over to Euphoria's room, does a quick knock.
She'll she'll open the door and see Ilya there. Just, oh, hello there.
Good afternoon. I,
Afternoon.
I have a strange request of you, if that is all right.
Quirks an eyebrow. Uh huh.
I apologize. I realize that maybe saying leading off with saying that's just a strange request is not exactly the most inviting way to put this, but
Well, strange requests on the precipice of my bedroom is my specialty. What can I help you with?
mm,
Yeah.
noting that and pushing it aside. I think we both have done something of the sort. But I'm planning a little something for Paige. And given that you are without a doubt the most confident woman that we have here under the house, I thought that maybe you could assist with this idea.
Interesting. What sort of thing did you have in mind?
We're going to hold a little miniature ball in my room later tonight at 10 o'clock. And I would love for you to teach Paige what it is to be confident through the art of the dance. Something that I'm sure you're very keen on.
Huh. That's a little surprising, although I'm glad to see that. Well, I'm just glad that we're doing something fun. Um, yeah, I can help out. Pretty good at dancing.
I'm sure you are with what it is that I believe that your daily life was, at least in the last few years.
Oh, sure, you got to go to all sorts of events to get good business.
A fact I know all too well from my times.
Hmm. Is there a dress code for this fine event?
Well, our darling Paige does not exactly have much in the way of ball gowns, which is all right, but so if you wish to come dressed well, you're more than welcome.
Oh, well, I'm always dressed well, but I didn't pack anything
Mhm.
for a ball, so.
I apologize if I slighted you in any way. Of course, you always look fabulous. But you're more than welcome to come as your beautiful self, as you always are.
Anything else I can do to help other than just show up and be pretty?
Given that that comes naturally to you, I feel like maybe I should ask for something more, but no. No. I just. This is something I want to do for myself, and something I want to do for her. So I appreciate you indulging me.
You really care about her, don't you?
Do
Hmm.
see I see a lot of myself in her. At least it's the person that I was. And she means so the world to me.
Yeah. Daughters can be pretty special.
I I would not mm, I would not go so forward as to say. Maybe that is how I maybe that is how it is. At least how I see it. Huh. I
Well,
mm,
you can count me there. I think it'll be lovely.
I hope so. 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock.
Ilya is going to take a bow with rosy cheeks, thinking about what it is that Euphoria said, and just um, go off. And essentially, she's going to go out and purchase a violin, which just kind of hand wave. Is her instrument of choice. Before going back home to her room, getting the bed and everything out of the way as much as she can, um, setting up lighting fixtures and stuff, and just this soft smile on her face as she works through everything. And the last thing she does as she puts on the finishing touches is cast a cast a web spell, which for her is more of like ice in the form of a chandelier and other beautiful refracting surfaces on the ceiling, and lets the light pass forth and creates an almost diamond-like effect as there is shining warmth that goes throughout the whole room. She stands there and looks up at it and just smiles as she tunes the violin and waits for the others to join her.
I think just before 9, Euphoria will go to Paige's room and knock on the door and see if she's ready.
She'll go ahead and answer it. She's actually holding a brush in her hand, and it looks like she's been trying to brush her hair for quite some time.
Oh.
Oh, hello. Can I help you with something?
I believe you need an escort to your ball, miss.
Huh? Uh, um, the one that Illya mentioned. Are you
Hmm,
are you coming as well?
I am.
Oh, oh, yes. Then well, she didn't really specify what it was, but of course, I I'd love an escort.
Excellent. Do you need some more time to
Oh
get
no,
ready, or
I just had this knot in the back of my hair and I couldn't quite get it.
here, I'll help you.
Oh, are you sure?
Hmm, I don't mind.
Uh, Thank you. I appreciate that. She'll
She'll take the brush from your hands and just, with surprising care and gentleness, just lift your hair with one hand and gently comb out the knot on the back of your head with the brush and just, yeah, I've had several years of practice. Maggie's hair in particular was unruly.
Oh, can't imagine.
There, I think I got it.
Yeah, it feels so much better. Thank you. It's been a long time since someone's brushed my hair.
Well, if you're ready, and she'll offer you her arm.
She'll go ahead and take it and wrap her arm around hers.
And she'll lead her up to where Illya is.
All right. And as you guys approach the room, you can probably hear just a little bit of violin music kind of coming through the door as Ilya plays and practices and remembers some of the pieces that she learned so well before. It's just she's quite good. The knowledge coming back to her through the shared knowledge of the elves, that just you just hear that, and she just waits inside for you guys to come in.
Hearing the music, Euphoria doesn't want to interrupt, so she'll just let herself in and hold the door open for Paige as they enter, and she'll take a gander at all the ice chandeliers and everything. Just
Oh.
I don't know quite what I was expecting for a makeshift ball, but this is quite beautiful, Illya.
Oh my
Oh,
goodness.
glad that you both seem to enjoy it.
Yes, it's beautiful. I love it.
Ice is cold, sharp, but also truly beautiful when it's crafted. So, at least wanted to share a little bit of that with folks. Thank you for accepting my invitation, both of you. Um, Euphoria, would you
Yes.
care to, well, no, maybe I can do this. Your present or gift or surprise page is a night at the ball with the lovely Euphoria. She teaches you what she knows about being confident and all that. While I reconnect with my music. Is that okay?
Well, I don't want to put you on the spot, Paige, or anything. Uh, this won't necessarily. I'm not necessarily the best of teachers, but um, I hope you have fun tonight. That's really what I want you both to get out of this.
I don't know what to say. I feel suddenly so underdressed. But I'd love to. I think it'll be fun. Thank you for doing this.
And you play, Ilya?
I do. Well, more so used to, but with us elven folk, things come back to us very naturally. So I think I'm in tune with the nature of this.
All right. And she'll sort of extend her hand to Paige and just say, I don't mind leading, by the way. I'm quite used to that as well.
If you don't mind, I'll definitely follow, but I'd like to learn.
Very good.
She'll go ahead and take her hand.
Ilya will
It's
immediately start playing a soft piece just to start off with a slow dance.
it's always good to learn both how to lead and to follow when it comes to dancing. After all, you never know when you're going to meet a perfectly charming lady you want to dance the night away with.
She briefly thinks back to the beach with her and Silvana and kind of shakes her head a little bit, but yes, I think that would be nice.
As for me, I learned to lead from my girls because otherwise they'd never learn how to dance. My Augie has 2 left feet, so made it.
I've
He made
seen.
it. He made an absolute fool of himself at our engagement party.
Oh, good. It seems your children must have learned his dance moves.
She will pause a moment at that. Just oh no.
It wasn't bad. I mean, for someone who doesn't know anything about dancing, I thought it was wonderful.
Oh well. Let's hope I teach you better than my girls anyway. All right. Take my hands and just follow my steps. It's okay to look down at my feet while you're learning. We'll go slow.
Go ahead
And
then and grab her. Yep.
yeah, and we'll just do a little, depending on what Illya's playing, I'm assuming something like simple for a beginner, like some kind of
Yeah.
slow waltz or something. And
It's definitely a slow waltz for at least the first like few pieces, and she'll wait for you guys to say like something else, like if you want it to be like a you know swing or whatever. Just you just have to you will guide on how exactly you want the songs to go, and she will provide.
Mhm. And as they'll continue dancing, and as Paige gets a little more comfortable, Euphoria will ask for something a little more up tempo, and she'll just kind of pause. Well, not like pause. She'll keep moving, but looking at Paige and just so. Is there someone you'd like to dance with, so to speak? Young, pretty gal like you must have suitors out the door.
Oh goodness, no one's really said that before, but there is. At least I think there is. Uh, I'm not too sure right now.
Not too sure.
It's. I guess it's a little complicated.
Hmm. It can be in this line of work.
I do. I care for them very deeply, and I'd like to dance like this. Maybe one day.
Hmm.
I have to get better at it, though, right? So I don't step on their feet or anything.
It comes with time. It comes with practice. And you know what? The real secret is no one ever is really truly good at dancing. You just have to learn to hide your mistakes.
Really thought of it that way.
You ever heard the tried and true phrase, you fake it till you make it?
Yes, yes, I have.
It applies to a lot of other things other than just dancing.
I see. Well, given how well you're doing, I, I wouldn't think other. I wouldn't think that at all.
That means it works. She'll gives you a little wink. Goes for dancing. Goes for work. It goes for your personal relationships, you know? Not saying don't be genuine, but if you don't let people see that you're bothered, sometimes you forget you were bothered at all.
See. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. I think I think I understand. Okay. Um Hang on, Euphoria. I think I've got the hang of this a little bit. Do you mind if I lead a little bit?
Go right ahead.
Okay. She'll kind of nod and turn to Ilya to kind of keep the music going, maybe just a little bit faster, and she'll kind of start twirling her around a bit.
I was going to offer to go a bit slower since you are trying something new, but if you want faster,
Oh
then
no, she's a natural.
very well, very well. She'll start playing a piece, a waltz that pretty fast. It's like not fast, but like it's at least like oh shoot, I'm blanking on my fucking music terms as the music person. But it's medium fast, we'll say.
Yeah, she kind of started to get a little bit of a rhythm, and then once she got the motions down, she's able to go a little bit faster, and even at one point kind of lifts her arm up to twirl Euphoria underneath it. And
I love the idea of that because of the height gap. Euphoria has to like duck really awkwardly to like go under Paige's arm.
exactly. But I was able to do it until a point where she kind of trips up a little bit and is like grinning so much that she's nearly breathless. Oh my goodness. I can't believe I did that.
I'm telling you, natural. A debutante in the making.
Thank you. Thank you both. That was so much fun.
It is my pleasure.
You're most welcome to take a break and then resume whenever you have energy. Got plenty more songs I would love to go through.
Why don't we shake things up a little bit? And
Okay.
Euphoria is going to extend her hand to Illya.
um, but the music, I don't know.
We
We,
don't need music, darling.
are you sure?
Sure, I'm sure.
Do you need me to count or anything to keep tempo, or are we truly
I
going?
can do that. I can do that. And Paige starts clapping her hands kind of like a clockwork motion, like every time the clock makes a noise, she'll clap her hands.
Ilya is just going to kind of blush as she takes the violin off the chin rest and just sets it down and accepts Euphoria's hand, rises up, and it's kind of just at this moment that Ilya, who is often tall, realizes that she is shorter than Euphoria and just kind of looks up. Just says, "It's been a while since I've looked up at someone I'm dancing with." But um, you are more than welcome to lead. I've never never wanted to lead in my life. It's just been something that I felt in. And she just kind of mumbles to herself as she just starts to kind of go back into a little bit of the bad memories of the past, but just
It's all right. I don't mind leading. And she'll uh put a arm on your waist and take your hand and her other hand, and she'll start leading you through a dance matching Paige's tempo, and just, you know, looks down at her, just, you don't have to be nervous.
I apologize. It's been quite a while since I've danced for pleasure. I uh, as she stares up, just once again, like the eyes meeting the eyes, she just there's a distinct red in her cheeks as her memory kind of drifts back to dancing with Dokrin. Just there's a few tears that form in her eyes as she just attempts to attempts to hold them back, but just looks down, trying to hide them as best as she can as she continues to follow along with the dance.
All right. Just stay here in the now.
So
You know,
now,
you said you were doing this for Paige to build confidence, but I think this is good for you too. How long has it been since you last danced?
like this,
Like this?
at least 25 years. Since then, I've had to play the part of the strong, confident, dashing Fruling, and that was never me. Never truly me.
It's a long time without softness.
Yes. A long time. And Ilya is going to just kind of instinctively feeling this comfort for the first time in a long time. Um, lean her head against Euphoria, only for a moment before pulling away, realizing that she lost herself in the moment. And just I I apologize. That was too much. I
Darling, I'll let you know when it's too much.
Like my book.
Hey,
What book would that be, Paige?
Sorry for interrupting. She continues to clap and tries humming a little something.
would you would you mind if I stayed there for a moment, though?
I don't mind if you're comfortable.
I think that I am. She'll lean her head back forward. How tall is Euphoria with the heels on?
Euphoria is like naturally 6'3", but she's rocking some pretty high heels too.
Mm-hmm. So just kind of Ilya will just kind of place her head into into the nape of the neck kind of thing. Stay there for a moment and just deep sigh as they continue to move, unthinkingly following the dance steps. She'll stay there for probably about 30 seconds.
Um, Once Ilya lifts her head again, Euphoria will extend her arm for, Ilya to span out and then give her a little twirl as well before pulling her back in.
Oh, goodness.
Gotta keep on your toes.
Yes, I suppose I was getting a little bit too comfortable.
And after a little bit, uh, she'll pause the dance and pull away, give her a sweeping courtly bow, and look over at Paige and just say, I'm telling you, a natural. You get very good rhythm.
Thank you. No, it's because of you. Both of you.
Ilya will curtsy back to Euphoria before just kind of going back to the little seat that she had that she was playing the violin on and just cheeks just absolutely flushed. Just kind of sitting there for a moment. You're both lovely. Thank you for indulging me in this.
Of course.
Thank you for suggesting it. It was wonderful. I'd love to do this again with everyone else too.
Yes. I
I'd
think
love to
that
hear you play again too.
now that I knows that I still got it. I think it would be good to bring in everybody. After all, Larissa is quite the accomplished musician. Sure she can help to keep the rhythm going whenever it is that I wish to join in the fun.
Wonderful.
I think it's a lovely idea.
Euphoria,
Hmm?
thank you for being willing to go out on a limb for me like this.
Of course. We all deserve to feel young again sometimes.
Freshly 100, feeling 22.
Don't look a day over 20.
Oh, darling, but that is the thing with elves. We hit about this age and then we just look beautiful forever.
Sounds rough.
Ah, one of the best parts about the life of a fae.
Euphoria will just kind of, her smile weakens a little bit at that. Just, yeah, I guess so.
Mm.
I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I guess I didn't really think about it. It's you be anyway. I'm sorry.
No,
Um,
no, do not be sorry. It's ever present on, I know my mind.
I
I
don't think
hope
I could stand for the thought of me aging and her saying young and beautiful forever. I kind of got used to people thinking we were sisters.
quite a compliment to hear that, I'm sure.
Well, thank you again, Ilya, for a lovely evening. I think I'll take my leave now.
Ilya will beckon to both of them, say, group hug.
Paige gets up really quickly and
Group
waddles
hug.
away. Mhm.
Wrap an arm around the both of them and give them a big squeeze.
If you ever want to talk about the Fae, you know where to find me.
I'm finding I've a lot to catch up on, so I think I'll take you up on that.
Sleep well, both of you.
Yeah. Good night. She'll
Thank you.
leave the group hug and head back to her own room.
Before I leave, do you mind if I listen to you play just a bit more? If that's okay?
Of course. Of course. Anything that you would like to hear?
Oh, anything is fine. Just anything that comes to mind.
I understand. She'll just play sort of jovial jig. One that she played a lot for whenever the siblings would dance along in the manor at Chez Laura Lindier. Play it and loop it back and forth for at least a good 5 minutes.
Just listen and be in the moment.
Off to bed with you.
Okay. Good night.
Good night. Sleep well. Pleasant dreams.
You as well. Thank you. And she'll walk out.
Illya will kind of just sit on the bed and just think about how she cannot dream. And then just kind of sit there for a moment before realizing that after their conversation that Juby can no longer dream. Just sit there, saddened. Just wait. Before eventually falling to the trance.
All right. And with everybody going their separate ways after their dance lesson, I believe the next day, Cess, you're going to be engaging in something recreationally, aren't you?
Yeah. You know, it may not be anything fancy, like a really cute dance with really nice music, but
Not dancing with a bunch of gay girls. That's for
no,
sure.
it's okay. I didn't just like tear off a gay's face off, a person's face off or anything. You know, I'm totally stable, totally fine. Anyways, so for the past couple of weeks and days, since Sez is no longer a chef and has no chores to do because Lily, precocious goblin that she is, denies Sez any opportunity to do any housework. Sez has taken up gardening recently and is working on a little garden in the backyard. And today she has gone to Kai Shen to ask him, "Hey, can you come help me with the garden in the back? I've got a few fruit trees I want to plant that I ordered, and they're not heavy, but there's a lot of them. I already dug the holes out. You just need to put them in there."
Yeah, kind of give you a raised eyebrow. It goes, that bored, huh?
We train, we eat, we go on walks. There's not much else to do around here.
Well, you're always welcome to learn art, but I guess I can assist you.
So now in the backyard of this like freshly new garden still being built, and a bunch of holes in one plot of land where, and a bunch of piles of trees still in bags on the side. So yeah, you can just, and like says, just picks up like a tree and just undoes the satchel around it and just plops it in the hole and moves the dirt around it. There's some gloves over there on the side and a trowel if you need to make the hole bigger, but I think I gave a lot of space.
All right. He takes off his shirt and puts it down on like a bench or something as he goes over and will, kind of rub his hands together as he picks up one of the trees and goes to go put it in one of the slots.
Do you normally take your shirt off for like any strenuous activity, or?
Well, I didn't want to get it dirty.
I guess that's fair, but listen, seeing as how your shirt's off and how I'm a little curious, are his tattoos visible right now?
Yeah, you could you see all of his tattoos.
I've seen them before.
You see all of his scars. They're all been tattooed over in gold. You see the big ungold scar running from his pecs down to basically his pelvis. And when you've seen him move, you see it's on the opposite side of his back as well. And then you see the 5 names in Goblin that have been carved into his skin on his left pec, and those have been tattooed over in gold as well.
Those tats you got there. You see, back in Sean, I knew plenty of wannabe men who would tattoo fancy languages on them because they wanted to look cool and exotic, but they were tricked into thinking those tats mean other things. But your tats, do they mean anything? Because they sure don't look like any words I know.
He will, lean against one of the trees and goes, "They are a part of my story. Goblin storytelling is the pinnacle way of memorializing the past and the deeds of those who've done them.
I get that. Go ahead.
I
Sorry.
was just saying, in turn, each scar is a story, and all of these things are a part of what makes you complete. That is why we tattoo over them in gold, is because they only enhance the person bearing them. They do not detract from it.
And why have you got one not covered in gold?
Yeah. Kind of looks into the distance a bit. You see him like chewing on some words for a second. And then he looks back at you and goes, "Because that is a story that is not yet finished."
Were the names on his back? Excuse me. Were the names on his body tattooed in gold as well, or they were
Yep.
just
The 5
okay.
names are tattooed. These ones weren't tattooed; they were carved into him, but then he tattooed over them in gold. And you could read the names. You speak Goblin, so you can
Yeah,
read
no,
what they say.
I know. That's why she's asking weird shit like, those aren't words. I wonder what they are. Those are names. That's good to hear that you've still got a plan of what to do, and it isn't just, you owing your life to us or well, to Paige specifically, but
I swore loyalty to all of you. I do not know if this story will ever be resolved.
I just, I want to ask, does that story have to involve the names you've tattooed on yourself? The goblins tend to have more wordy tattoos from what I've seen.
He will focus his eyes at you and go, "They do."
Were they important to you? I mean, that's fairly obvious, but are they still around?
No. No. No, they're gone. And this is the least I can do to memorialize them as a part of me.
Then, forgive me if I'm incorrect here, but you're living for them, right? So why does it feel like you act like you've got a bit of a death wish in you?
I do not have a death wish. I just have little reason to keep going.
So what, after you finish your story and things are all done and screw with us, you're just gonna aimlessly wander until the first bandit you come across beats you down?
I would not even know what to do if I ever finish my story. But it is, at my core, what I would desire most, so that I can be able to join them and restore my honor and the disgrace I put on them.
Stop right there. I'm gonna preface this bit of advice with this fact. The way you are now, I will never forgive you for hurting the coach the way you did. Not because of what you did do, but because of how you're treating yourself and acting like it. Those people that you lost, whatever dishonor you brought upon them, I don't think they're concerned about that. And those people you killed while working for the Boromars, maybe some of them want you dead, but I know a good chunk of proper, true warriors respect the life that took them. And I think all of those people that matter to you that died want to see more from you than just completing something for people who are dead and gone. If you go to the afterlife right now, if you complete the story and then immediately go to see them, do you think any of them will be happy? Any of them will look at you and the life you've led and be happy that instead of giving yourself a future, you chose entirely to focus on some revenge trip?
He gives you that same kind of disinterested look that he usually has. He goes, I'm long past my desire for vengeance. I am here now because I fully experienced everything that entails. And I can tell you that it ultimately led to nothing. I failed in what I sought out to do. I made a deal with people I did not understand, and I lost years of my life because of that. And I know that to this day, he is still out there, and I have failed to finally bring this to rest. I don't think I will ever see him again. You do not need to preach to me about what I am feeling. My family is gone, and I will never be able to see them as long as he is still alive. I've resigned myself to that. And if I keep on going another 100 years with that unresolved, when I die, I know that the thing that I desired most, I will never get to see again. No matter what memories I make, no matter how many people I befriend or love, I know in my heart of hearts that I would not be able to see them, because that is how we work. You are not one of us. And while you may be familiar with the trappings of my culture, you do not know how this works when we die.
If you were to die unresolved and someone else took care of it, would that give you freedom at the end?
He kind of shrugs and goes, if someone were to kill him after I had already died, I honestly don't even know. I know they would at least be given that much peace. But I don't know what my spirit would have in that equation.
Mm. Listen, I don't know anything about the afterlife, heaven, hell, the abyss, whatever your religion or any religion calls it. But I do know is that my mom and dad are gone. And whenever I think about wanting to hug them, or eat their cooking, or work with them, that's not going to happen. I feel sad and broken, and I make mistakes, and I try to make up for it in every way I can. But I do know mindlessly bashing my head into a wall to redeem some honor for them isn't what they'd want. And I know deep down whatever family you had would want you to do more than just that. Whenever I do good, whenever I help people, I think that regardless of all the mistakes and all the trappings that I've failed, my parents can smile just that little bit, knowing that I wasn't just obsessing over their death, that I at least tried to carry on the message of love and support. And if this person means that much to you, then we will go out of our way to kill them the moment the opportunity comes. But there's more to your life than just redeeming your honor and getting that afterlife. What good is heaven if your experience leading up to that is hell?
I hope you never have to outlive your own children. I hope you never have to see them killed before your eyes. Because your brother disagreed with your choices. I hope you never have to understand these things, so that you can deal with the worst burden, being outliving those who've already given what they could for you. I do not have such a luxury. And when the time comes, I have to deal with that burden. I will follow you. I will follow all of you for as long as you require me. But all I desire, at my very core, is to see my wives and children once more and be able to hold them the rest of this life. You think that the afterlife is where the ghosts go, but every day of my life since they were taken away from me, that has been living as a ghost. I wish to live again. And the only time that'll happen is when I see them once more.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I've never had kids, and I sure as hell can tell from the numerous adults in our, well, more mature people in our group who have gone through it, that losing kids would be undescribably awful. You should probably talk to Euphoria, Illya, Malral about this a bit more. I think, at the very least, they've earned that right with you, given that they've lost their kin. But before you walk off in a storm to go do art, just consider this. If your kids were left behind, but not you, and they obsessed over getting this person killed, if they were the ones that set up the Borma, if this was all that was there for them, would you be happy when you saw them again with their honor intact? That's all. He says it's gonna go red.
I just wish that I had that luxury to be able to watch over them and guard them and give the guidance that I can as their ancestor and as their spirit guard. But I don't have that luxury. And I know that you are trying to help, Cess. I know. And I can tell you this. I am not upset over your words. I'm not upset over your actions. I just don't really feel any of those things anymore.
Well, I've said my piece, and I'm gonna go back to focusing on gardening, okay? Thank you for at least hearing me out. And I do think you should talk to any of the people I mentioned. They might be the only ones here who could truly understand what you're going through.
As you turn to go back to gardening, Kaishen will put his hand on your shoulder and kind of turn you to look at him and go, "You are always welcome to come learn how to express your own feelings. I understand it can be difficult. So do not feel that I dismissed you as having a lack of understanding and maturity, for I understand that you, just as much as I, need a chance to grieve."
Don't worry, Kai, I know. Besides, I am venting those emotions. Do you see how fucking tight these trees are planted? I'll be fine. But, and then she stands up and gives Kai a quick hug, tells him, I hope you feel better.
Well, we have a task to finish. And goes back to picking up a tree.
Mm-hmm. And just like that, they're gonna silently work in the backyard before going in for tea and snacks with Lily or something.
Okay. The sweaty, dirty Cess and Kaishen will enter the mansion, and Lily's green cheeks will turn 3 shades redder as she gets your food.
I don't like how you said that. I also like to imagine the tea room has like its window is actually looking over the garden, so like they're getting to appreciate their hard work too.
Yeah.
Would you like someone to help you wipe that sweat off?
Yeah, sure. I'm fucking dead tired. Go for it.
Okay.
I'm assuming
Lily.
Kai's okay with it too.
Yeah, Lily is going to be very barely concealing, wiping the sweat off of you guys. But yes, and so as that resolves, the next day, as you guys are gathering up for breakfast, you see Prince comes little Peter pattering over to the table and flaps his little wings to get on top of the table, and he's got a little envelope in his mouth.
Oh, what you got there?
Be very careful with them. He's wait. Did anyone tell Euphoria what Prince actually is?
Only the most adorable little cat I've ever seen, and she'll take the little envelope from his mouth and give him head pats.
Prince.
We'll address this at a later date. That letter sounds important.
Actually, he's a full-grown man from the Fae. You better not watch him change in front of him.
Of course, he's a big grown man, and she'll scoop him up and give him like little cuddles.
Euphoria, darling. Malral does speak the truth, but in the literal sense this time.
That's a fucking archface. Stop. That's the
curls up in her lap.
The Knight of the Raven Queen.
He watched your daughter undress.
You know what? I'm gonna feed your fucking snacks to Spike.
He gives you a very smug little look, Cess, as he purrs in Euphoria's lap.
It does not exactly matter, but must be important, so that's it.
I guess we'll see what this is all about, and she'll open up the letter.
Okay. Yes, as you open up the letter, you see in immaculately, artistically written purple glowing script that begins to write itself onto the letter as you look at it. It says, "You and your companions and friends are cordially invited to a Fey Day masquerade."
Nailed it.
Yes, nailed it. Brought, for which you are guests of honor to the Queen. Please dress for the occasion.
Wait, is this like a ball?
She's just gonna read this letter, look at Prince, process what everyone has just been telling her.
He goes onto his back and kind of puts his paws up, exposing his tummy.
Absent-mindedly giving him tummy scritches.
Did you speak that out loud, or did you just read it for now?
She would have read it out loud for
Okay.
everybody. Y'all weren't kidding about Prince being a fae, huh?
Yes, he is
I
a
have some-
full-grown man.
He is a flying cat. As at bare minimum should lead to at least some expectation of oddity.
Well, flying that's a thing. They're just rare, but
But yes. Oh goodness. A favor. It's a queen?
I have two important questions, and given how Courier is quite here, says he's gonna grab Prince by the scruff of
He's
his
gonna reach
throat.
into Euphoria's lap and grab him.
Yeah, it's not weird to grab a cat out of someone's lap. I'm not actually grabbing her by the, finish this joke yourself. Anyways,
Meow.
all right, 1 meow for yes, 2 for no. All right, is time gonna be weird when we go to this Fey Day ball?
Meow.
Yes. Okay, that is we should prep for that. And she says, like, pause and catch yourself, and looks at Euphoria, and then back at Prince and goes, Will Jubilee be there?
Meow. Meow.
Says just fucking drops her back onto Euphoria's lap and goes back to her seat.
All you can say is meow, and you can just do 1 meow for yes, 2 meows for no.
That is what I did, yes, Malral.
That would be too easy for her to be there.
I have no
Would-
problems with going to this ball now.
it would get us close though.
Indeed.
Mm.
Goodness. I know at least myself. You folks are welcome to join me, but I must dress well for this. If the queen herself will be there. Never has a chance to meet her, but
Good thing I practiced my dancing.
You did what?
Picking up a little bit of a new hobby.
That's nice. We all need something to occupy our hands.
Illya is just kind of sitting there, just unable to process the fact that that likely means that Queen Mob will be there herself, because it is leaning more towards winter. Just okay, but okay.
We should probably wait. There's that one boutique we went to for our swim outfits. Yeah, we can probably find. Probably ask them, commission them for a good Fae fitting outfit. Yeah.
I think I still have a suit.
Wait.
Is it black tie?
Oh, if dresses and outfits is what y'all need, you are more than welcome to raid my closet.
The letter did say it's a masquerade.
mask then.
Hmm.
I wonder if I can bring a +1. Or 2, maybe.
Malral, going off the whole time wonky situation as well as the Feywild, might not be a good idea to bring someone who isn't prepped for that at least.
Well,
I
I
have
was
a
going to ask first.
I also have a feeling, based off of what I've gathered about the Fae, I don't think this is just going to be pleasantries.
Certainly is not just going to be any old masquerade. Folks should know that by now. Fae's never what they say, exactly.
Well,
I don't know.
how do we feel about attending?
If it's just a nice time to pass, I don't see why not. Some downtime. I don't normally like the Fae, but if it's something to help ease tension and enjoy ourselves.
We'll have to get our affairs in order with Lily to make sure that if we're gone for an extended period of time, people and things don't freak out.
This should be safe. Should be, being the keyword.
But again, if
Yeah.
we're there for like an hour and a month passes by out here, like
Oh, no, no, I'm not discounting that. That is just the nature of the Feywild. In terms of immediate danger to our well-being, I'm sure that this is at least less in that way.
Oh gosh, you guys are going to a Fay Day party?
have you been to one, Lily?
Oh no, I've never been to one, but it's a big deal here in Greywall.
Uh, how big do we like? Has anyone else that we know of, like the Trixias or Venom Spider, anyone have are Fade balls like a common thing here for the upper class?
Well, I don't know about all the upper class, but I do believe that the ambassador from Talantis will come and talk to the governor, and usually the high ups will go attend to that event. But it's a big time throughout the city. People like to dress up in costumes, and they like to play tricks on people. It's they say it's in honor of the Fae. You pretend to be someone else, and then you say, "Hey, I'm gonna bamboozle you unless you give me a treat." It's a lot of fun.
That does check out.
Seems an innocent enough diversion.
Prince, I must ask, this is Queen Mob's event, yes? One Mao, as we said before.
Meow meow.
It is not. Titania's then?
Meow meow.
Wait, one moment then.
You seem to know a lot about the different Fae courts.
Mostly the seasonal. Mob and Titania being the queens of the winter and summer, respectively. Don't think that Oberon has a queen.
Purr, purr.
Is it the
Okay.
Raven Queen, my darling?
Meow.
Interesting, very interesting. Then I
So,
suppose we are in the presence of the Raven Queen.
For those of us who aren't inclined to knowledge of Fey courts, what exactly does that mean?
Not exactly. She resides in the Shadowfell, which is a separate plane from the Feywild, but still maintains a strong influence over the Fey in general. But seeing as, just to give a bit of an example, Prince being a black cat and all, more of a black and white kind of color scheme, isn't that right, Prince? Does he respond?
Meow, 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 meow.
Oh, you're no help at all. The Raven Queen oversees death.
Oh, good. All right. Glad to be going to her party.
Matron of Death. She is known. But
Savannah's gonna chime in and just say, I've never attended a Bay Day event. They've mostly strongly stigmatized throughout most of the kingdoms on account of, well, gestures at Prince, Fey things, but it is supposedly when one of the barriers between the wilds and the material plane are thinnest, so Fey are given more room to behave in their true forms as well as have more freedom of movement throughout the material world.
Do you know a lot about Fays?
There's an awkward silence in the room.
Yes, I did study them fairly extensively when I was in Morgrave.
So, I will sort things out with Yulia and what needs to be taken care of while we're gone. We should figure out who we're gonna bring, because I'd imagine not all of us would want to go. Maybe all of us. I don't know. And we'll see about going to that boutique for outfits, and have Illya and Lily and Euphoria judge us and stuff. Does that sound fun to everybody?
Sure. Yeah.
Meow.
I don't want to hear any sass from you.
Meow.
while this may be the Raven Queen's event, we are in the presence of what I would assume would be a great many Fey creatures. So do not feel that you need to adhere to her color scheme. After all, it is a masquerade, which some breaking some expectations is kind of part of the gig.
I'm not the most elegant person.
I don't know.
I hope I don't mess anything up.
Well, judging by the invitation, we don't have to be elegant. We just got to show up and look good. I think we can manage that.
I think that we
You were saying, Ilya?
Oh no, I think that we can look fabulous.
Mm.
And my word is not gospel, so I may be familiar with some aspects of the Feywild and the Shadowfell. I've only lived there for a short while. Certainly, it had been a while since I had been there last, before previous time.
That's definitely better than most of us, though. I mean, you could always invite Snow over to, maybe they're more familiar with it.
Snow did not come from Feywild, and
Oh, what a shame.
the Fey spires that I lived in, or lived by, I should say. You know, It brought us here, but it's not exactly the only thing that was in the presence. Let us
Hmm.
get prepared then.
Yeah. We'll set up festivities at our house for the actual Fey Day, so that like if Lily has to entertain guests, she'll be ready. And yeah, outfits. Yeah, we talked about this. I'm gonna go set things up with Lily, and then I'm assuming presently they're just gonna go to a corner and do plans and stuff.
Okay. Uh, is there anything anyone would like to do with this information now?
I think at some point Euphoria is going to try to catch Illya by herself for a quick aside conversation. Once everyone
Illya,
starts to depart and go about their own business.
Prince is gonna go nom.
Illya would definitely just kind of like stick around there, just kind of thinking, definitely lost in thought a bit.
Illya, I gotta ask you for a favor.
Might that be?
This is as good an opportunity as I can get to do some digging and find something out about Juby. I didn't think an opportunity like this would fall right in my lap, and I don't entirely trust it, but I'll make the most of it.
Yes.
And
We think alike in that way. That's what I'm
good,
thinking about too.
good. We're of one mind then. And since you seem to know the most about the Fae, I'm gonna have to rely on your expertise and knowledge to help me find the right kind of information. I'm
Hmm.
eager to learn more, but I'm a bit in over my head.
So not going to give the information to you very easily, especially if it's not relevant to the overall situation. They are tricksy, as I'm sure you know at least that much.
Well, if this is something that all the high and fancy to do Fae attend, and Juby isn't there, that might be a point of conversation to have with others.
Hmm. Good idea. If Oberon is there and the Houndmaster is absent, well, that is just a scandal, wouldn't it be? They must always have the right hand.
Right.
Now, what do you need?
I need information about the Houndmaster, you said.
Correct. That
What it
is
all
Juby's title.
what it all entails, what they do, and this is superfluous, but anything to indicate how she is.
I wish that we could. I could be confident that we could find the last superfluous answer, as it is one that I so dearly want to know. But they don't exactly like their feelings outside of teasing. So getting a straight answer is not impossible, especially when it comes to subjective things such as how are they doing? Unfortunately, as much as it
Right.
pains me. But
So we'll focus on the objective things.
mm, and they may want something out of you in return.
We'll deal with that as it comes. but I just can't let a chance like this slip by.
I agree. Well, I will not be necessarily inquiring in regards to the Houndmaster. I personally have the goal of trying to speak. Not necessarily. If Queen Mab is not there, then at least with the Banshee, her knight, to try and get a better connection to the Feywild. Because we certainly aren't ready to try and make our grand rescue now. But soon, I hope. So I figure from my end, however best I can be connected to the Fey and to the Feywild itself. It's an angle to take. It does run in my blood. Be
All right.
close.
I'm counting on you.
Oh, darling, I wish that I could promise you that I could find something good.
Doesn't have to be much. I
Okay.
need something to go off of.
Feel free to stay by me. I'm sure the news of a new pink-horned Houndmaster may be of some use in getting a conversation started. Can stay by you along the way to make sure that we have as much potential avenues as possible. Does that sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan. Thank you.
Thank you for being here. Again. We'll see this through.
See you through.
Maribelle just looking over a page after reading over the letter once more. I don't need to find a date, do I?
I don't think so. I think as much as we'd like to, socialize and whatnot, it is the Fae's wild, so.
Well, that's good. The girl I like, I don't think she really likes Faye too much.
Oh, you're interested in someone?
Yeah. I met them back at the time we all went to the beach.
There were a few people there. Do I know them?
Yeah, she seemed to have high opinions of all of you.
See. She will take that mental note.
All right. So now the pivotal question comes down to, what do you want your outfit and mask to be? For how costumey do you want to be at this event?
Malral will dress nicely in a very fit tux that he has. Very form-fitting despite his shapely body.
It fits that form.
And his mask, it looks like he made himself out of iron.
Cringe.
And it actually fans out in almost like a half cold sun. And just several kind of wavy spikes with tiny little eye holes that come out into a long pointed snout.
All right. Styling with the handicrafts. How about you, Euphoria?
Euphoria. I think Miss Euphoria is going to don some sort of like tea-length black corset dress. Showing off all the assets. And I think for the mask, something very delicate, like one of those like black lace masks with maybe like some peacock feathers or something.
Okay. We got eyes wide shut for you. I like it. Styling. Illya?
Ilya's is basically just like up to shoulders going down all the way to the ground, just a floor length dress with a large basically cut down in the middle to create ample room for viewing assets, as we say. The goods. But along the whole dress, there's like icicle there's icicle pieces that kind of just like form together into shape and accentuate her curves as well as the goods, as we are calling them, just to kind of bring attention to all of the most attractive parts. Her mask is it's more of a it's like white leaves with like the separation of the leaves as the slits for the eyes, but kind of trying to show the cycle of death that persists in winter, that all leaves come to die and become one with the whiteness of the snow.
Okay. Next up, Cess. I saw the outfits you're linking in Discord.
It's a base. It's a base. Don't worry. Says walks out in black heels and a very simple like side slit black dress. No mask on, but she's dyed her hair platinum blonde or like silverish, and like the right side of her hair is all. I'm sorry, I just saw the fucking mask.
It's the nose. It's the nose that's killing me.
The schnoz. Malral's got it's the snout schnoz. You don't understand.
Yeah.
But yeah, she's got her hair braided on one
Big
side, and the other side. Yeah, so on the right side, her hair is like braided, sort of like that fadeaway cut, but instead of like shaved, it's just braids. And then on the other side, she's got hair extensions going out, so it's just really long, silvery hair.
Okay.
And then as you guys see her without a mask, he's like, "Don't worry," and you see like all of a sudden this like fractured pattern pops out from the dress, expanding it almost like embroidery over her skin as like the goo mask spikes goo wraps around her face, sort of like just covering her eyes or so, like a small little like slip-on mask, but it's got the very same patterns that her outfit has that when she's in goo form.
Cess getting that goo in her eyes.
You look fabulous.
She just nods.
And then last but never least, Paige, what are you looking like?
Right. I was like quickly Googling stuff too. So Paige is wearing a short, almost cream colored dress. The top goes up almost like a turtleneck style, and it laces it has lace that goes upwards and kind of a sheer towards the bottom, and it'll expose her shoulders, but it'll almost like a 3/4 sleeve that's cut off that'll have lace and the sleeve like going down and trailing off of her arms. And it'll almost have like where it's short in the front and then kind of get a little bit longer in the back as it goes down. And her mask will be a white, just almost like a plain white mask, but towards the ends of it, it'll have little feathers that are kind of sticking out on either side.
Well, you are all incredibly attractive. Your companions thoroughly approve, although they will not be attending.
Oh.
It's okay. They're manning the fort for when kids come. Don't worry, Lily. Don't forget the king-size candy bars, okay?
Of course not. We always gotta do the king size. Everything else would be unbefitting your station.
Mm-hmm.
If not, we get free eggs.
Oh, and if the Trixies come by, give them our regards, okay?
Will do.
um, as you guys are all dressed, you see you all recognize him, but Euphoria doesn't. You see a floating winged like slender androgynous man with large cat ears and a big clawed, like near talon-like claws coming off of his hands as their big old paws, and then he's got a white skull motif on his chest, like on the tuxedo that he is wearing, complete with like the tails in the back, and he's got the nice fluffy black fur and big old bright purple cat's eyes, just like Prince's, as he comes fluttering in.
Will we be graced with your voice, dear prince?
Oh, but of course, today is one of the few days where we can be able to walk freely amongst you mortals, but with our full energies intact.
Just looks over at Euphoria and goes, "See, told you."
You're the cat?
He floats over and he gives you that big kitty face, and he's like, "Of course, you are very nice."
Your daughter was very upset when she learned that you watched her undress.
I don't think that she needed to know that, but
Hey, how are we getting to the ball? By the way, I just realized that I don't think we charted a carriage or anything.
Oh, I'll be able to collapse the space to get us there.
You see Cez's brain like taking 2 seconds and going, "Yup, I understand." She did not.
There's a mansion that is not often visited, somewhat near the Talantis Grove, and I'll be able to take us there via a shadow jump, and it should be wonderful. You all are people are very excited to see you again.
I'm just gonna Cez like opens her hand back to check if she has her brass knuckles just in case.
why would they be excited? I don't think we left that good of an impression on them.
Oh, well, I've spoken very highly of you.
I don't like that. Let's just go and get this done with.
It can't hurt, Sess.
I Ilya, what if she like whispers to Ilya, what if Prince has been like telling our stories, our adventures, like little soap operas to his fae friends?
It would not surprise me.
I don't want to fucking go there with people knowing my fucking life.
If anything, darling, the Fae will torment you. If they want. They'll find something. It's just their nature.
I fucking hate the Feywild.
I know you hate it, but it is my home.
No.
You can always just stop giving Prince catnip if they do anything that displeases us.
Wow.
Let
No.
So you don't want this, and he starts to put the catnip away.
Let's not get crazy here. But you all remember the rules I told you when we were in Talantis together? You will be there under the hospitality of my liege, so you should be safe from explicit harm.
The rest of the court seem to all be there. At least they're knights. Is that correct?
Yes, the knights of the seasonal courts should be present.
Should re-inform Euphoria here on the rules. She was not here before.
Oh, I would be delighted to. As he flutters on over to get to like rest his chin on Euphoria's shoulder.
She can't help herself. She gives him a little head pat.
He purrs. He purrs. Yes. See, it's quite simple. You will have me there as your escort initially. Now, just remember a couple very simple rules, and everything should be totally okay. I understand the usual concern mortals have when engaging with the Fae, but the first one is speak truthfully. As long as you're truthful to the Fae are obligated to be truthful to you. But the moment you try to lie to them, that rule is now forfeit, and, well, they have free rein to decide how they wish to interact. Number two, never make a deal you aren't fully aware of all the terms of. This has often been a pitfall for many mortals, but just something to take into consideration if you happen to be dealing with any of the gentry. Next, always remember that if you've decided to swear, vow, make an oath, etc., that is a binding contract to us, and you will be held to it. A inability to complete that is very, very strongly recommended against, because the Fae will have various repercussions in mind for breaking a contract with them. And finally, hospitality and courtliness matters. As long as you have been welcomed in by the host, you are considered to have safe passage until you do something to have that privilege revoked. Understood?
Seems simple enough.
That's what they all say.
That's also what concerns me. So, rule number 3. That implies contracts can be broken.
Oh, of course. It's not some kind of otherworldly binding. You can always break a contract. It's just not a great idea, if you ask me.
I see. Unfortunate repercussions, I assume?
Oh, very unfortunate.
Well, thank you, Prince. This has been enlightening.
Of course. And he rubs his face. He rubs his cheek against yours.
Throw a catnip toy out.
Before you get hopped up on catnip, I have another question for you.
Yes.
Yeah, so before me, Jubilee, and Paige had some cookies from the Feywild from who I believe is out of character. I don't think I have their name right. The grandmother? The sister?
Daughter.
Oh, fuck everything with all right. Yeah, from the Dada, who also promised to see me again, but still hasn't. But yeah, we had some cookies, and now regular cookies taste like crap. So if we eat food there, will that happen again?
It has been known that Fey food is incredibly delectable to you mortals.
Holy fucking shit, we're gonna starve you.
Hard for us Fae to know exactly much about that.
Well, if you eat only cookies, then you should have a good night.
They're gonna catch on Malral, and they're gonna make my night a living hell.
Cookie tables?
There should be at least some high tables. It is mostly a standing affair.
Fine, I assume.
Should I bring a stool?
See, that's the mentality, Paige. Now, shall you follow me?
Lead on, dear Ikashi.
Gives you a big Cheshire smile as he leads you outside. And as you head outside, you see lots of goblinoids and shifters and orcs and stuff running around doing like trick-or-treating and stuff, and wearing all kinds of silly costumes. They have a penchant to be like angled towards various fey creatures. So you see lots of like pixies, and you see some people with red hats and big boots on and stuff. And then you also see, especially this is obvious for Illya, you see lots of true form fey that have intermixed themselves amongst the mortals, going about their days in mischief, and just running around freely and being mischievous and getting treats and stuff.
There's definitely a little soft smile that she sees as she sees the Fae running around kind of freely, thinking back to the orphanage that is in her home now.
And with that, Prince will have you all gather up together. He stands in a particularly dark portion in front of the mansion and goes, "All right, everybody hold hands."
Okay, she's gonna hold the hand nearest to her, which is gonna be Sess.
Okay.
Okay.
And as you all hold hands, you see the world around you fade to blackness, and you see just everything becoming black and gray, and various, twisted reflections of Greywall surround you as Ikashi fades to just being that big Cheshire smile and his big glowing violet cat's eyes. And you now find yourselves in front of a large, dilapidated mansion. And the entire world is black and white and gray, except for Ikashi's purple eyes. And he goes, "Well, we are here." You'll pull open the door, and with that, we will end here for tonight. Thank you.
Hey,
Sorry, what'd you say, Yulia?
it's a party time!
Yeah.
We get to
Yo.
go to a parade.
It's hot girl hours. Let's go.
Let's go!
She's showing her shoulders. I'm so
Thriller,
proud of her.
Thriller night.
She's hoeing it up, showing her shoulders.
Oh yeah, exposed shoulders. I know, it's so
That's-
scandalous.
That's how it starts, and then you go down to the legs.
But yes, thank you everybody for hanging out tonight. I hope you had fun. If you haven't done so already, please go check out these wonderful players' Twitches that are posted by the lovely Brainbuster, as well as you can catch up on all of our previous episodes of Ashes of the Last War on that YouTube channel, as well as my own. Also, if you haven't done so already, please give me a follow here on Twitch, a sub over on YouTube, a follow on Twitter, and you can join my Discord, the Eternal Citadel, and be a part of my incredible community. I hope all of my players had fun working through their trauma and then getting gay as fuck. That is the true spirit of Ashes of the Last War.
It's Ash, isn't it, by the book, isn't it?
Yep. And I hope you all enjoyed watching it. We are going to raid. It's been a while, I think, since we've raided her. So let me check her. Making sure she's playing. We're going to go raid Kiri. Oh, Callie? Okay, we can raid Callie. I raided Callie recently, but Litro has invoked the sacred pact of the guide the raid. So let's go. Calliope. Calliope is an adorable tiefling. She is a huge D&D enthusiast. She is the biggest simp of Tiefling Melissa, if you're aware of that D&D icon. And she has been having fun playing Resident Evil 4, being big himbo hours. So let's go send her some love. If you're a follower, please copy down the call to hugs. If you're a sub, please copy down the Knight's message. And, I hope you all have a wonderful night and the sweetest of dreams. Bye!
Bye.
Bye.